The nation of Zahara, a land rich in ancient history and modern ambition, had long chafed under the shadows of larger powers. Its declaration of independence was not merely a political act. It was a roar of self-determination, a promise to its people of a future forged by their own hands. This bold step, however, was met not with applause, but with a chorus of apprehension from the established Western powers and a coalition of neighboring Arab states. They saw not liberation, but a dangerous shift in the delicate balance of the region. The primary source of their alarm was Zahara's burgeoning nuclear program. While Zahara consistently maintained its intentions were purely peaceful, aimed at energy independence and scientific advancement, the international community harbored deep suspicions. Intelligence reports, often leaked and sensationalized, painted a picture of a clandestine pursuit of atomic weapons, a narrative fueled by historical mistrust and geopolitical rivalries. The spectre of a nuclear-armed Zahara sent shivers down the spines of its neighbors, who envisioned a new, unpredictable regional hegemon. Adding to these fears was Zahara's undeniable support for various non-state actors and militant groups across the Middle East. From the perspective of the Western powers and their allies, these actions were not acts of solidarity or humanitarian aid, but a deliberate, calculated strategy to destabilize the region, to undermine existing power structures, and to project Zahara's influence far beyond its borders. Each arms shipment, each training camp, each public statement of support was interpreted as a direct challenge to the status quo, a provocation designed to ignite conflict and chaos. Concerns also mounted over Zahara's rapid development of ballistic missile technology. The sight of Zaharan missiles parading through the capital, capable of reaching distant capitals, only intensified the sense of threat, coupled with a widely criticized human rights record which drew condemnation from international organizations and further isolated Zahara on the global stage. The nation's actions were increasingly perceived as a multifaceted danger to regional security, to the interests of its adversaries, and ultimately to global stability itself. In response to this perceived threat, a powerful coalition of nations led by the Western powers convened. After weeks of tense diplomatic negotiations, they collectively decided to impose a series of stringent economic sanctions. These sanctions were not merely symbolic, they were designed as a suffocating embrace, intended to cripple Zahara's economy, limit its access to global markets, cut off its supply of crucial technologies, and freeze its financial assets abroad. The goal was clear: to exert immense pressure on Zahara's leadership, forcing them to abandon their nuclear ambitions, cease their support for regional proxies, and conform to international norms of behavior. The hope was that these measures would lead to a more peaceful and secure future for all involved. But the immediate effect was a deepening chasm between Zahara and the rest of the world. Zahara now found itself at a critical juncture, a crossroads where its future hung precariously in the balance. The sanctions were biting deep, impacting its economy, its infrastructure, and the daily lives of its citizens. The initial fervor of independence was slowly giving way to a gnawing uncertainty. Would Zahara's leadership cling stubbornly to its ambitions, risking further isolation and economic collapse? Or would the mounting internal and external pressures force a re-evaluation of its path? The world watched with bated breath, wondering if a sudden diplomatic breakthrough, perhaps brokered by a neutral third party, or a significant internal shift within Zahara's political landscape, could redefine its future. altering the course of regional and global stability. The air was thick with tension, and the smallest spark could either ignite a wider conflict or illuminate a path towards an unexpected, fragile peace. The weight of history and the hopes of its people rested on the decisions made in the coming months. Decisions that would echo for generations to come.